welcome to today. We're here at the police station. Chief Herridge here with us today. We're going to talk a little bit about what's really been happening in St. Thomas, what we have to do next, what we would like from the folks in St. Thomas, what questions they've asked us. And so, Chief, what do you just start off with a little bit about what it's been like for the police force during this first whatever number of days we're into.
Well, like you said, Mayor, I'm not too sure what number of days we're into right now, but there's been a lot of challenges for the community, for policing, and all of us here in St. Thomas. And I look at this, I want to get this message out to the community. Yes, we are in a crisis, but out of every crisis comes opportunity. And here is our opportunity as a community to shine. We need to support each other. We need to look after each other. And like the Mayor has said several times when he's been on social media, be a good neighbor. And this is not about being critical of our neighbors, being critical of our residents. Let's not find fault in people. Let's come together, show that we are St. Thomas proud, but we are more than just St. Thomas proud. We are St. Thomas strong.
Right.
And I think you would agree, Mayor.
I would. We'll come out of this, and we need to make sure that the community stays strong within itself. We're not being really associated right now with anybody around us because we're asking people not to travel. Look, if I had one two-word phrase to say to people right now, it's stay home. Right? You know, just plain. Think about it. If you think you want to go out, stay home. If you think you need something, make a list and stay home. And in a couple of days, go on out and get a bunch of things, but keep that list active so that you can do it. Look, we're also calling on St. Thomas right now to parent itself a little bit better. I know every night the social media is full of shouldn't we be doing this and shouldn't we be doing that? Yes, go ahead and do it. No one's going to stop you. And we don't have to make a rule in the city for you to start staying indoors or not visiting the skateboard park or we don't have to officially close it before you could tell your children and yourself, you know what, good personal responsibility is I'm not going to go to the playground today. We're going to go for a walk instead.
And we know the province and the city has declared a state of emergency. There's a number of prohibited activities that have been put into place. And the last thing we want to do is to have to use enforcement to get this community to stay home. I mean, we want to use education. We want to get the message out there. We're trying through social media. The government is trying. The city is trying. And I know we are getting calls from the public to use enforcement to deal with some of the people that they're seeing out in the public. And the first thing we have to clarify is that there is no rule in place, there is no law in place at this time for people to self-isolate. It's just a strong recommendation. It's a common sense recommendation given the crisis that we are dealing with, and that's coming from our experts in the medical field. So we are asking you, please stay at home so that we do not have to engage in enforcement with the community and the residents of St. Thomas.
Yeah, and I'll add to that. Our essential services, the police, the fire, the rest of the city workers, hospitals and ambulances for sure, don't have the time to be chasing kids off a playground park, right? Take some neighborly advice, share it kindly with your neighbors and people who you would like to show alternate behavior. And if you get the result we're looking for, the city's a better place. If we don't, you did your best. Please follow your own guidelines, your own personal guidelines as to do what you need to do. Others will disobey. We hope more and more good parenting is going to happen out there over the next little while to stop people. We've now made some rules that the playgrounds are closed. But I'm going to tell you, the mayor's not running around to each playground to tell the two kids playing to go home. Right? That's up to mom and dad and neighbors. Please take your responsibility and do so.
Mayor, go ahead.
I was just going to say there's a number of other really positive things we're doing. We're finding that we've got neighbor reaching out to neighbor and community group reaching out to neighbors, people who've been shut in, people who needed groceries, and we've got actually great volunteers out there that are offering their support and out there doing it. That's the real St. Thomas. Right? So let's keep working on those, and we're going to give you a more formal way to even share those cooperating ideas, and if you need help, a way to reach out to us so that we'll know you need help and we can get somebody over to help you.
And I know our officers are dedicated and committed to ensuring the safety and security of this city. We are busy, we are in a crisis, but we have not pulled down on policing the city of St. Thomas. Yes, we had to pull back on some of our crime prevention programs. Obviously, the school programs have been shut down for obvious reasons, but we are out there in full force to ensure that the security of this city is maintained. I can tell you that crime has spiked for us, and that is a concern with a number of businesses closing down, but we are putting plans into place, and some of those plans have already been implemented to ensure that we enhance the security of St. Thomas.
Yeah. And we need your cooperation on that too. If you see it, call it. If you see something happening from a break-in, a car entry, whatever else point of view, let's let our police know. They can do a great job all on their own, but they can do a fantastically great job if you're also helping them. If you're seeing it, call it in.
Absolutely, and the feedback that we have been receiving on social media, thanks to our communications coordinator, Tanya Calvert, is amazing, and we certainly appreciate the kind words, the support for our staff, and even the crime tips that continue to come in. Keep up the great work, St. Thomas.
Yeah. Well, we have maybe some questions to answer. Tanya, do you want to ask us any, or do you want us to move on to just some of the other more general things?
Well, you certainly have covered a lot of the topics that have been emailed in and Facebook questions that have come over Facebook messaging, such as what do I do if I see someone who I believe should be isolated or sheltering not doing so. I guess a question that the city of St. Thomas might want to know is what can the people who want to help do? What are the options available for people who are at home right now and want to help make a difference? What is the best approach that they can take?
Well, our libraries are closed, of course, and so Heather from the library is putting together this repository of who can help and who needs help. And within the next day, we'll certainly be sharing that with you, a phone number and an email or something where we can do it. Right now, certainly continue to help your neighbors or count on your neighbors if you need it. Look, there's a lot of social media out there, and you can reach someone if you absolutely have to. Please don't anybody go without essential food, medicine, or even just a good conversation. I found from time to time right now is really needed. So let's make sure we're doing that. And we'll be publishing with all of our might how to get a hold and how to help. I have already a list of, 24 of people who said, Joe, you said we could help. How can I help? I'm ready. I'll go do this. I'll do whatever you need, or I'll make phone calls for you. So we know we're going to be up and running pretty quickly on it. We've got a few city functions I wanted to share with you. The city's still running, and as it should be. Our city hall is closed, but most of the work we do there can be done online or on phone. But our environmental services people want to remind you all about what you should and shouldn't flush down toilets, for example. We're all using a lot of Lysol wipes right now, right? They can't be flushed, folks, or we've got real serious trouble at the pollution control plant. So let's watch what goes down the bowl. Make it the garbage. Garbage trucks are still coming. They'll come pick it up. The recycling's still working. They'll do that too. So. Another caution there is we've got some construction started. It's neat. The streets aren't as busy, so let's start some of our construction. But the same rules apply as they always would. Keep your kids out of construction zones. Watch what's going on. Watch your own driving. Don't drive through a construction zone if it's blocked off. Let's all be as good a neighbors as we can right now and stay as safe as we can. And another one that the mayor has really noticed, even in his own life, we've got distracted driving right now just by what we're thinking, not by even holding our gadgets or drinking our coffee or whatever else might be distracted driving. But even going from one place to the other, I'm really, really often thinking about the community and what else needs to be done. And I recognize, Chief, probably you and your officers have the same type of thing. A lot of things on their mind and a lot of things for watch for. But you as the general public, please be careful. Keep it a little slower out there right now because we're not only thinking about our driving.
That's a good point, Mayor. You're right. We do have a lot of things on our mind. We have a lot of worry, I'm sure all of us in the community, about the coronavirus. And not only for us that may think we're healthy, we have to worry about our kids, and we have to worry about our parents and those that may have a compromised immunity system. So yes, let's drive carefully. Let's help out each other. I think we are going in the right direction. I know we have been working daily with our municipal partners, with public health, to ensure that we have a solid plan in place. It is very fluid, I can tell you, and I'm sure the mayor would agree. Things change daily, and I know sometimes we get questioned about some of the things that we are putting into place, but we are listening to the experts, and we have to go with those in the medical field that know this best and the steps that we need to take. So again, please have patience with us, because things are going to change, and what we said last week may change next week, but we're doing what we think is best to move this community ahead,
Absolutely.
keep everyone healthy. We want to get through this together, and we're hoping that this is going to come to an end sooner than later, so that we can get back to some normal in our life. We're going to learn from this. I think maybe Mother Nature has hit the reset button, and there's going to be some positive things that are going to come out of this, and it's going to be good for all of us, but we need to work through it. Here's one of the biggest challenges in our life, in our generation, and the only way we're going to get through it is to work together. And for policing, for us, it's simple. Let's just listen to the rules that have been put into place. Let's listen to the guidelines. Let's listen to the recommendations, and that's going to make the jobs of our officers a lot easier.
And as the chief has said, what is said today may be changed tomorrow. As we get word from our experts, the Southwest Public Health, the Medical Officer of Health from Ontario, and the Federal Medical Officer of Health, new ideas come forward, new regulations come forward. So you're right, just because we said it's what was right last Monday, it's now Wednesday, and some things will change, because we're going to use those experts. The chief is an expert at policing. I'm an expert at talking, and the rest of the people we have to use our experts for. We just have to make sure that look, I recognize that your brother's sister's hairdresser's friend told you there was something else that was better. And please don't share that with me on Facebook. I'll be listening to Southwest Public Health, and I know the chief will be listening to the rest of the emergency management group. And we'll put the things in place as the city needs them. We'll put the new regulations in place, or start to release some of those regulations too. There will be a time where we'll start to get to that too. But wait for us to do it. Don't think you know better. Please think of your neighbors. Think of the more vulnerable people in our community, and think that your kids are watching. They want you to be strong and be teaching them about why we're doing some of these things too. Our city needs you to do it right now.
So true, Mayor. And even our medical experts, this is learning for them as well.
Oh, yes.
When was the last time we have faced such a worldwide pandemic in the 21st century? It's been a very, very, very long time. Yeah. And it's a learning curve, and a steep learning curve at that, for all of us.
Yes. So learn with us, but learn through kindness, learn through, I have certainly been told I was wrong on more than one occasion on social media this week, and I'm sure, Chief, you have been too. And politely, thank you very much. But I'll move on with what we're supposed to do in getting the messages out, and I know the Chief will do exactly the same thing with let's move the city together positively, but also do that with your family, friends, and neighbors. It just will make the world a little bit more pleasant at a time when it's got some roughness to it.
And if we ever need to be a team, now's the time.
Yes. And so we've really also found there's the management team in St. Thomas, whether it's the mayor and the police chief or just about everybody else, and the rest of the municipalities around us in Elgin County and all of Elgin County, and even in the conversations with Mayor Holder from over in London. We're working together and sharing resources far more than we're trying to outdo the other one. This is about working together and making all of our citizens who do share this geography to live in feel better, work better, feel more confident that they're going to come out of this on the other side in a great place.
And I think thanks to Tanya, and I'll let her explain a little further, we're going to set a trend, and we've already started here at the St. Thomas Police Service. So if our city wants to come together, let's do what we're doing here and show heart and show good feelings towards each other. And if you want, you can put up a red heart at your home like we've done here at the St. Thomas Police Service, thanks to Tanya. And go ahead, Tanya, and Maybe tell us why we did that.
Well, we were just inspired the other day because we really were feeling disconnected from our very own community. We've always been a department that's been very active. We reach out, we visit the senior center. We're missing going to the schools and seeing those children. And there's just such a gap, in our services right now that there's really nothing we can do about. We're in this situation and we have to navigate it the best we can. But we don't want those people to forget the strong connection that we've built with them over all of these years that we've been serving them. So we just grabbed some Christmas lights, actually right off the chief's
House.
house.
Well, we finally took them down.
That's
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
And so we just put a heart, they're red Christmas lights, and we put a heart up on our outside fence. And we just are going to illuminate that heart every night until this pandemic is over, just so that it glows and faces the people of St. Thomas, and anyone that happens to be going by, walking at a safe distance down the trail, can just see that heart, see the glow, and remember that although we can't be interacting quite the way we're accustomed to, we haven't forgot, and we're still thinking about all of the members of St. Thomas. We're wishing them all well. We're wishing them to do the right thing, which is, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay home for as much as they can, and support their essential service workers.
Please do. And what a great challenge. Get your Christmas lights out. I've seen a number of houses with them on already this week, but let's all do it. Let's celebrate from the inside of our houses out a little bit this week and over the next little while we come out of this pandemic. I love the police for starting the idea, and way to go. We'll share it. We'll steal the idea and let everybody do it. Because folks, we're all in it together. Let's work together to solve it.
Let's light up the spirit in St. Thomas.